Thanks for this sponsoring today's podcast. Today, Ashtyn bought us blue coconut matchas with spirulina, which I find fascinating because it's a healthy ingredient with a potent blue color.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Behind the Brilliance. I'm Ashtyn.
And I'm Danielle.
And today we are talking about if we ran the lash industry, what our rules would be. Because there's a lot of like crazy misconceptions and crazy standards that the lash industry has that a lot of people either don't follow or probably shouldn't even just be a thing. So
And we're just bossy.
And we're also bossy, so let's just get into it.
All right, so I'm leading today. First is speed versus safety. If your biggest flex is a 45-minute full set, I'm not impressed, I'm concerned. So I think that like taking your time is super important, especially when you're just starting, but like even 20 years in, I think my sets are just better when I take my time and I'm not rushing. And yes, there are clients that do seek out people who are faster. Time is money. And so I've witnessed clients kind of asking like, who's the fastest lash artist? But that doesn't mean that you should race to become the fastest lash artist either.
I feel like there's just some people who work slower than others, and that's like obviously not a bad thing on either end. Like even with like my tattoo journey, I feel like I tattoo pretty quick compared to like other people, but then also our work is the same. So honestly, like it's not like don't rush to be faster. It just kind of comes with time.
Yeah, and I also think that being fast doesn't mean you're advanced.
No, not at all.
It means that you're likely skipping steps. And what? What?
I'm like, yeah, I'm fast. Okay, you're skipping steps.
Oh no. I mean, but that's relative. Like you're not taking. I've heard people say full sets in 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is that possible with like a client with very sparse lashes? Possibly, but like that's rare. That's really rare. And then the fills are also determined on how well did you teach your client how to take care of their lashes. Some people go too long and be in between their refreshes. I know there's a lot of stylists out there that allow their clients to come every 3 weeks, but I do think that's a sensitive subject. If you let your client go 3 weeks, it should be because they have amazing retention, not that they're almost needing a full set by that point, because some people just have better or worse retention. But so my one suggestion to fix this is also, to me, someone who's going really fast probably has stickies or like not immaculate isolation. And one thing that we teach and we do with the water scrub method throughout our lash appointments is not only the water scrub is part of it, but part of doing a set and keeping consistency, I think you should take breaks within the set, and that is to check the lash line for stickies. Like don't wait to the end of the appointment or to not ever do that, because I do think that, that's an easy thing to accidentally, a habit to get in, especially when you're booked back to back, you've been lashing for a long time, maybe you're really confident in your skills, and so you didn't realize that sometimes even the best lash artists can have stickies. It's a thing. So I think constantly making sure you don't have a sticky as you work, whether that's mindfully taking a every 10 minute, segment and doing that, or honestly, when I isolate, I really kind of go through every lash. So I'm kind of unsticking as I go. So I just think that can help with.
Yeah, every time I redo my adhesive drop, I go through it and I make sure there's no stickies and I water scrub.
Let's go on to the next rule of the industry that I'd like to talk about, and that's education quality control. Being good at lashes doesn't mean you can teach. I think teaching is a skill. So that's a skill in itself, but I also think there's a lot of people who are teaching before they're actually at a skill level that they should pass along. And sometimes we don't know that. I know that there are a lot of like salons. Sometimes it's not even the individual lash artist. I know that there's salons that exist that just like nominate someone to teach without even like having a quality control standard for their salon to begin with. So I just think that is causing an issue. And if I was running the lash industry and making rules for it, I would make sure that there's some kind of standardization for educators to teach other people how to lash.
Yeah, I also feel like a lot of people will just think like, ooh, I can be a lash trainer and charge somebody $2,300 and just make easy money. But like, realistically, it's like, it's not that. Like, I don't even ever want to be a lash educator because of like genuinely how much goes into it. And like I don't want somebody texting me during the day being like, what do I do?
Yeah, and that's actually a very interesting aspect of it is like, why are you doing it? Because after the years and years of educating, I will say that I make more money lashing. I don't make money educating. I do it because I actually enjoy it and I love helping people be successful. That's really fun and exciting for me, and it's a way to break up the things that I do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't be going into education just because you think it's going to make you money. It's actually, if you're a great lash artist and you're in demand, you can make more money doing that. But yeah, all right. So next topic is client expectation reset. Retention isn't a promise, it's a partnership, and there are clients who refuse to participate. But I also think that I always teach my clients that amazing lashes are a team effort. I need to do my job correctly, but if you don't do your part, your retention isn't going to be successful. And so I think there needs to be a standard. I think there are a lot of people who aren't really truly taught how to take care of their lashes properly. I don't know why. I only know that because I have clients that come in to me from other locations and they're like, wow, no one told me I should clean my lashes. Nobody told me I should do this. So I just wish that was an industry standard at this point.
Yeah, I do think that maybe some lash artists think that it's like kind of common sense to take care of your lashes, but in reality, it's not, because these are, especially if it's somebody's first time getting lashes, how are they supposed to know how to take care of them? It's like a foreign thing on their eyes, so like it is important to talk about aftercare with your clients, and if your clients aren't willing to take care of them, then maybe that's not the client for you, because you can't be coming, like, I personally don't want a client who comes in every 2 weeks with half of their lashes or like more than half of their lashes missing and they're dirty and they're gross because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and so
AKA me.
yeah, but I just will tolerate so much. So you're welcome. I think there's some solutions to this. One thing that I've noticed that through time, I've emphasized more that refills, for the longest time, I don't even use the word refill. I use the word refresh. And it's because I think customers also need to understand that you're not just filling. And lash artists, you need to understand this. You should not just be filling their lashes. You should be removing their lashes as well, because there are lashes that are grown out. There are lashes that have lifted bases. There are lashes that are just on their last leg. Like, you also have to remove. And so it's so much more than a fill. It's a maintenance appointment. And I think that clients need to understand that in order to have proper maintenance, you should have at least 50% of your lashes remaining on still to be considered a maintenance appointment. If you're more than 50% empty, this is beyond a maintenance appointment. We have appointments at Garnet Lash that we call Refresh Plus appointments for that reason. Like, if we need more time, like, that needs to be clear between me, the client, that the pricing is going to be different. Another solution that I have to this for people is that on your client intake forms, this is actually something that you can train them and also have them agree to ahead of time. So when you're asking things like sleeping patterns, hormone pattern, things like that, you can also have them agree that they understand that their home care, don't yawn, this is for you, girl. They're agreeing basically to their home care in order to maintain their lashes properly.
And I never signed that form, so I don't have to.
No, I never made her sign that form. Well, let's roll into the next topic, which is boundaries and business skills. If you don't enforce your policies, your clients will train you to tolerate disrespect.
Period.
And
you teach people how to treat you.
I will say, like, as a mentor, this is what any and all of my past students will reach out to me about sometimes, is just support on how to deal with clients sometimes that are being disrespectful. What should I do? This client did this. This client was on the way. They canceled their appointment. And it's like, it's so true that your boundaries have to be so clear and communicated so that you don't feel bad about it either when you have to enforce your policies. Having a clear cancellation policy that has been also clearly communicated to your client will reduce so many issues. Last minute cancellations, no shows. These things cause problems for us. And as service providers, if somebody cancels their appointment 15 minutes before the appointment time, A, you could have been doing something else. B, you could have been making money instead. There's just so many issues. So that's actually another solution I have to that is, again, building that into the intake form. Before you ever see them, they need to agree that they understand what your cancellation policies are. However, some people don't read the intake form or they don't read the fine print. So to really cover yourself, you should also be letting people know this when they book the appointment with you for the first time. I would go as far as collecting a credit card and saying that I'll never charge your card, but in order to secure your reservation, I'm going to put a card on file because I have a cancellation policy. And all that really does is prove to the person, the client, that you are serious about your time because you're busy and you're in demand. So you should
even take a deposit.
I've never done that, but I know a lot of people do, and I just never made a process for that step. But I do think like for your tattoos, which is something we offer, I feel like that kind of clientele is just a little different and almost like a little flakier.
I think it's important to enforce your policies when something happens. So like, for example, if you have a client and they cancel, say that you have like a ride or die client, okay, and then they cancel. Okay, me personally, I'm very lenient when it comes to like my client, like my regular clients. If they text me like, but they've never, I'm going in so many different directions.
I agree.
Like my regular clients, if they text me day of and they're like, hey, like, I'm so sorry, can we move my appointment to like tomorrow? Okay, like that's fine with me. But they've also never been to the point where it's 5 minutes before their appointment and they're like, oh my God, I cannot come. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, if they have done that, it's because they like need to, but it's because they know my policies. Like, it's only been emergency situations. But then I've also had other experiences where people will completely no-show their appointment. I'll text them and be like, hey, if you want back on my books, you have to pay your full appointment pricing due to my policy that you signed, that you agreed with. And I've literally had a couple people like actually go onto my website and book another appointment for like a week or two after without telling me, and just like it pops up on my books. And I'm like, no, actually, you're paying your appointment before you're getting back in my schedule. So like, it is important that you do follow your policies and enforce them, or people are just gonna be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I will say you're a business owner, so by all means, be lenient with who you want. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be like an evil stickler. I will say that generally I like to give people one pass. So if they break the rule and I go, okay, things do happen. Like, I mean, things do happen, right? It's like, I'm not going to ask for a doctor's note, but I will communicate that I'm totally sorry this is happening to you and you can't make your appointment today. I do have a cancellation policy that is this. Typically, I would charge this, but today I'm going to waive it for you. And that gives them that much more solidification that if and when it happens again, that's what they're running up against. And so I just think that even though you want to be gentler with the people you love, they should still know that you're at least doing them a favor by waiving the fee. And you can waive it again if you want to. You can.
I totally agree with that. I think that somebody can be a flaky person but also respect your policies at the same time. One of my clients, I literally love her dearly, but she is so flaky. But it's gotten to a point where she knows that if she's canceling on me, she already Venmos me for my appointment. Like, literally her last fill, she couldn't come in, she Venmo'd me and then texted me and said, hey, I rescheduled, but here's some money for today. Thank you.
And that's how it should be.
Like, you just have to train your people.
Yeah. And you should know your worth and that you're worth that.
Exactly. Time is money. So get paid for your time.
Get paid, then add tax. All right, so last topic for today is tools that simplify work. If your routine has 12 steps, you don't have a routine, you have anxiety. More products doesn't mean better results. It just means more things that you can blame, in my opinion. I know this is something that comes up a lot. We are a product line. We represent a product line. And we do not use or distribute primers, sealers, bonders. These are elements of they're adding steps, it's adding products that are unnecessary. There's plenty lash artists out here, including myself, that have been lashing for decades without these products and having amazing results. And so I do think it's already stressful to keep an inventory of supplies a lot of the time. You have to make sure you have all of the best sizes and lengths and curls in stock to make sure that you are able to provide all these looks for your clients. You want to make sure you have fresh adhesive, which is why the Adhesive Monthly Club is great, because you can have it shipped to your door every 4 weeks, and you could never blame an old adhesive on retention. But adding all these products, it's fatigue and keeping things in stock. You're paying more money for your service that you don't need to do. So you're actually butting into your profit margins. And then, then you have all these other things that you could technically blame for things going wrong. So just eliminating steps. I'm just a fan of simplifying. And then also the added layer for me is that I personally don't want a ton of ingredients on my body, in my exposed. I don't want to be exposed to things that I don't need to be exposed to. So why would I do that to my clients? Including around their eyes, which is just, it's literally, your eyes are like an open, they're an open orifice to your body. They're very sensitive, and they can really like take on ingredients into the bloodstream really quickly. And so I just think that make your life easy.
Make your life easy, okay? All you need, a cleanser, water, adhesive, tweezers,
Paper
lashes.
towels.
Probably lashes would be good.
Paper towels.
iPads.
Which can also be reusable. Hey, if you don't use the reusable iPads, I know a lot of people don't, but that's another thing that I have been using for 2 decades is I use, not the same ones, mind you, I've replaced these over time, but silicone reusable iPads that I can use for months and months and months at a time. They're disinfectable in barbicide. I never have to order iPads for myself. So it's just keeping things simple. The things that you should be investing in is probably a new pair of tweezers once in a while. You should probably always have a backup. We're spoiled because we literally have the back stock of Brilliant out in the behind us.
You know what? If you're seeing this is your sign you need to replace your tweezer. It's been too long.
Yeah, but like even if you don't need to replace your tweezer, you should have a replacement ready, because one day that tweezer is just gonna underperform for you.
Or you can drop it and it'll just be broken.
Yeah, so I think everybody needs a backup pair of tweezers, and invest in good lashes, invest in good adhesive, and then everything else is just skills. And that's all I have.
Invest in your education.
Yeah, make sure you're feeling good. If not, seek out a mentor, reach out to us. We can set you up with somebody. We have a huge network of people who are willing to help, including myself.
You know, I think that our number one rule for our lash industry that we are now running is invest in yourself if you want your business to be good.
Yeah, invest in yourself. There's never a bad time to invest in yourself. That was fun. Thank you for joining us today with the rules that we would apply to the industry if we were running the industry. If you disagree or you agree, we'd love to hear. You can leave us a comment. Follow us on Instagram. We have lots of fun there.
Also, if you think that we should run the industry, let me know.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Nobody actually runs the industry though, right?
Should we figure out how?
I don't think anybody actually runs it.
No, it's very not supervised.
Well, state boards, I guess.
I think I nominate myself as president of the lash industry.
I don't think you have time for that.
I know. Why do I think I have more time? Anyway.
I will not be vice president.
No, okay.
Anyways, guys.
But she will be famous.
I will be famous, but I will not be vice president of the lash industry.
Okay. Thanks for joining us.
Kisses, love you, bye.